Shalom. God bless you, my brothers and sisters, and thank you again for joining us on Exceptional Leadership. Thank you for your subscriptions. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your shares. Thank you for those wonderful comments. My prayer is always that God's best becomes your best. Every time you pray, that Jeremiah 33:3, which says, "Call upon me and I will answer and I will show you great and mighty things that thou knowest not." I pray that the manifestation of your prayers are always, constantly in your life. On your screen, you see a definition of the word lie. I want you to look at it. This is what a lie is. It is a false statement made with deliberate, intentional intent to deceive, an intentional untruth. That's what a lie is. It was not by mistake. This was planned out. It was a diabolical plan to deceive the whole world. We've read from Revelations how the Bible says that serpent that's called the devil, who deceived the whole world. It was his intent to destroy the people of God, to take covenant people and cause them to believe a lie. Let's go to Genesis 30, a group of scriptures from Genesis 30, verses 32 to 42. The story goes this way. Jacob, who was a trickster, who deceived, he deceived others, was working for Laban, who also deceived him. Jacob reaped what he sowed. But now he's at the point where he wants to leave. He wants to take his wives, he wants to take his possessions and leave. The problem is, while he worked for Laban, everything he put his hand to, in this case the cattle, the sheep, everything that he touched prospered. And so Laban did not want him to go. And so he said, "Please stay, please stay." And Jacob said this, "I will stay and work if you allow this." Jacob said, "I will go among the cattle and the sheep, and I will take every speckled and spotted cow, every speckled and spotted sheep," which were few in numbers. So it seemed like a good deal to Laban. And he said, when my time is up for this served time that I'm offering you now, I'll take that with me. So Laban figured, like, what? That's a good deal for me. But what Jacob did, he employed a principle that those from the synagogue of Satan has employed on all of us. Once he took those spotted cattle and sheep and speckled cattle and sheep, he put before them a type of wood. He peeled the wood so the white would show. So it was a type of stripe or speckled wood. And when they would go to drink water, you know the story, read it, Genesis 30, 32 through 42. Because of what was put before their eyes, they produced what they saw. They produced speckled and spotted offsprings. What was before their eyes was what they became and what they produced, in spite of them being something different. The brown cow mating with another brown cow, you understand? In spite of what they were, they produced what they saw. That's a principle that has been applied. I almost said we have been infected or affected by that principle. Even when it goes to from slavery unto this very day, they have put before us what they wanted us to believe. They have put before us how they wanted us to think. And as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. In slavery, it is amazing how one or two slave masters with a home full of slaves, 20, 25, 50 slaves, and yet these handful of slave masters, just a small family, was able to control these muscle-bound men and their families because of what they put before their eyes. They put hanging. They put, you understand, these lynchings. They put beatings before the eyes of the children, before the eyes of the parents, before the eyes of the young men. And as we think in our heart, that's what we become. From that day, even to now, in the 2022 and moving into 2023, they are putting before our eyes what they want us to think. After the Emancipation Proclamation, which was the illusion of freedom, but our minds were still enslaved. The slavery of the mind is the ultimate goal. Why? Because just like drugs and any other thing in the world, we are addicted to. Does not matter if it's food, does not matter if it's alcohol, it does not matter what the addiction is. The addiction begins here. If I can enslave your mind, then you become, your whole person, your body becomes a slave to what your mind is enslaved to. Here's what they began to enslave us with after the illusion that the Emancipation Proclamation gave us. You see the image? Television began to enslave us. Images of Moses being a white man. This is the group from the synagogue of Satan. This is a group of people that were deceived themselves by the devil. Deceived us into thinking that the people of the Bible look like Charleston Heston. They look like Asante Jews. They look like white Europeans. They look like Britons. They didn't just deceive the black community. They did not just deceive the Indian community, the Asian community. They deceived the whole world. They made us believe that these images were how the people in the Bible look. Listen to this. Their children, white, Hispanic, Ashkenazi, their children saw the same pictures. So their children began to feel empowered because this God that created the whole universe looks like them. And you, my sleeping, or I'll say sleepwalking preacher, you believe the message doesn't matter. What if your children, what if that child that died? What if that boy that went out there and raped somebody? What if that boy that went out there and killed somebody, killed another Negro Hebrew? What if he, when you had him in the church, mama, when you had him in the church, dad, what if he saw the right image? What if he saw that these pictures in the Bible that they were putting on television, the people, the God of the universe, looked like him? What type of change would that have made? What type of change would that make even today if our children know that the Creator looks like them? I'm talking about the manifestation of who he is in the flesh. I understand that God is a spirit, so don't get it twisted. But the manifestation of him in the earth. He chose to look like us. Look at the Jesus that, this is the lie that they perpetrated. This was the lie that they put the images on our wall, that they put before us. They put it before us in television. They put it before us, the images on our walls. The statues, the crosses, and the white Jesus on the cross. And that's a whole nother story, what the cross really means, and that he's not a Christ on the cross. The cross was a means to an end. I'm not going to get into that. But look at the disciples here at the bottom. Look at their pigmentation. This is what was put before us. This is the specked piece of stick. It produced, just like what Jacob used the principle to produce what he wanted, they used the principle, to produce what they wanted. The Last Supper, look at that table. Look at Jesus. Look at the pigmentation. These were the images that were put before us. The lies that were put before us. You see, it doesn't matter what's put before you. If you stare at it long enough, you'll become something that you're not. Just like the brown cows produce speckled and spotted cows. Oh my goodness. They put this before us. Look at it. This image was put before us. The image, black and white bathroom, black and white faucets. And as it moved on through the years, the image on television, all of the Hollywood stars, all of the winners were white. If it's black, it's evil, it's bad. You should fear it. But if it's white, it's pure, it's good. You should trust it because they won all of the awards. All of the cowboys. You understand? White cowboys. These images put before us. They were the heroes, even though they stole our lineage in that, our legacy in that. They made us the bad people and made themselves the good people. And so we began to buy in it, to buy into it in our communities. We felt less than, and their children felt more than. We felt insignificant while their children felt superior because of what was put before us. This was intentional. You see, a lie is just a distraction. That's all it is. If I'm concerned about this lie produces hatred, and hatred produces a distraction from our real enemy. And so we're hating one another. Everything about black was bad. Everything about white was good. Listen to me. I'm closing. My black Negro, Hebrew, sleepwalking apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastor, and teacher. Those of you who say this message of the black Negro Hebrew does not matter, I want you to listen. And those of you that say the message is true, you believe that what I am teaching is true. It's just not true enough. It's the truth from the Word of God, but it's just not the truth that you want to teach. Let me say this to you. I pray sincerely that you would humble yourself under the mighty hand of God and receive this truth. The foundation that many of us, our forefathers, the people that taught us, the people that taught them, it links back unto Ashkenazi, Khazari, European, white, British scholars. Look at the images. None of them look like us. These are the people that taught us. These are the people that corrupted us. The fact that they corrupted the foundation. What they did was they kept certain truths from us. They knew that we were the heroes of the Bible. But they put before us an okie dokie. If you would, the face-off movie. They changed places with us. We were the heroes. We were the intelligent. We're all those things even now, but our minds have been locked up because of the image that they put before us. We produced what was before us. BET, you are an enemy of the black community. You put before us violence. You put before us hatred. You portray us as niggas because that's what was taught to you. I submit to you positive images is what you should be submitting before us. You have been bought and paid for. Listen to me. Sell your talent, but don't sell your soul. We are now in the black church teaching these lies. We say it doesn't matter. It's because you have been brainwashed. These people are the ones that wrote, some of them, the commentaries, the contaminated commentaries that you study by. Even those that are celebrated, God's generals, the roaring reformers, the missionaries. You understand? The revivalists, and there are many more, the healing evangelists. What do all of these people have in common? What do all of these people that wrote the commentaries that we study by, these heroes? You're telling me that these people are the heroes that we celebrate in our seminaries? Africa, just one part of Africa, Western Africa, just many villages by themselves have seen more miracles than this group combined together. But we don't tell those stories. I grew up in a church, a holiness church. We had in our back room a trophy room of wheelchairs and crutches where God had healed people. But this is not, it was known, but on purpose, we were lied to, and intentional untruth, because people from the synagogue of Satan, Ashkenazi Jews, Europeans, Britons, people all over the world, Asian Americans, those who have sold their souls, have on purpose deceived us. They deceived the whole world because they themselves are deceived.